things here. This is an interesting question, and then I want to ask you a follow-up. I'm going to ask you the follow-up after this question. The follow-up to the answer you just gave is, what should salespeople be expecting? You said, well, let's answer that question right now. A little bit different than what the topic of the book is, but you've worked with so many salespeople, and you just gave some great advice to some junior sales professionals on how they should approach. But you've worked with so many successful salespeople. Give some advice, Andy Miller. Again, we have a lot of junior people listening to the Sales Game Changers podcast. What would you say to them to expect right now? And this isn't what would you tell the younger Andy Miller, but give some advice. If a junior sales professional, let's say it's their first or second job, what would be some of the guidance you would give them right now? That's my question.
Well, that's a loaded question. And I think it depends on where you want to be in your career, right? I mean, some people go to the Fortune 100s. Uh, they want to go hunt whales. They want that big brand name behind them. Yeah, it's a totally different kind of sell. It's a totally different kind of culture. Others would rather be at the small entrepreneurial companies. So I think it really depends upon answering the question of where do I thrive? I've worked at the small companies. I've worked at the big companies. I'm not a big company guy. I know that about me. I'm more a mid-market, medium-sized companies have enough resources, uh, but they're all, enough resources to invest in people and product and market and all those things, but small enough that I can still have some influence and a say. So part of that's just going to be trial and error of learning about your younger self and where do you thrive. Uh, Knowing what I know now and my first experience, uh, I went to work for a company whose CEO was a natural born salesperson, had no clue how he did it. He couldn't explain it either. He knew he had a process, he had skills, but he couldn't explain it to anybody. And that first year was miserable. And then we brought in a sales trainer, and that guy taught us process and skills, and it just opened up my eyes to a whole nother place. So if I were advising my younger self, I would say go to a company that actually spends time investing in training and coaching and mentoring their people so you get a really good foundation. And if that company doesn't do it, but you want to be there because they're in some hot market, then they should be listening to your programs. Because when I ask salespeople, I had a room full of 100, how many of you within the last 3 months has listened to a podcast, read a book, watched a video, any of those? No more than three hands go up. And I have to tell you, as an employer, why would I want to employ somebody who's not willing to invest in themselves?